Wait, what?
Yeah. I'll show you the article tomorrow.
Wait, he sold some like...
He sold, it was I don't want to say
You're
what...
telling me it's like a timeline manipulator?
No, initially it was like a death ray of some sorts that he was working on. It's a 2-page article, very old. Someone like photocopied it or scanned it and put it on the web. But it was essentially a death ray of sorts. And some of the side effects of when he turned it on was temporal displacement within the vicinity of...
That's interesting. I mean, I don't know if that seems so wild to me, but there's this, Tesla biographer I was speaking to recently.
Right.
And he was talking about how Tesla, would do some of these high voltage experiments, and he would say weird things like, I see the future, the present, and the past all at once.
Right.
And Townsend Brown was extremely interested in time alteration, time travel.
Yep.
Do you think, and then the final thing is, there's a guy named Timothy Taylor who's a NASA mission controller, who's written about in Diana Pasulka's book called American Cosmic. He is a successful NASA mission controller that works on SpaceX missions and stuff at Cape Canaveral.
Right.
And he told, I guess, Chris Bledsoe, who's had experienced all these sort of UFO sightings at his house. For whatever reason, Tim Taylor shows up at his house and they become friends.
Right.
And he tells Chris, I was part of this secret time travel group based in Nassau in the Bahamas, and Thomas Townsend Brown was the president of this group. And I would think that would be total quackery if I wasn't so deep on Townsend Brown.
Right.
And I didn't know he was so deep into time travel stuff, and he spent a lot of time in Nassau in the Bahamas. And so I do find that interesting.
I agree. I think if I could say quickly from a scientific perspective, it's been argued that what's called charge parity inversion in the vacuum or in the quantum vacuum is equivalent to reflection. And what that means essentially is we're dealing with vacuum polarization. And if we're dealing with vacuum polarization, if we polarize time but not space, we can have this scenario in which time displacement does occur.
Wait, how do you polarize? Because I think of time and space as indelibly bound. So how do you
These longitudinal scalar waves that we've been speaking of help tap time rather than space.
How do you do that?
Oh, well, you're asking how to engineer that?
Yeah.
One example would be, for example, Sal Paez's work or Hal Puthoff's space-time metric engineering.
But you're controlling for space? Or
you are manipulating time to then, which as a residual effect has effects on space.